What's up, guys? What's going on? Stephen Martinez, Nicholas Gambaro here. Another edition of the Nick and Steph show is on the air. I'm Stephen Martinez. He's Nicholas Gambaro. We hope you're having a good start to the beginning of your week, because Lord knows I gotta air some people out. Most includingly the Nick fan base, not the fans themselves, but the fan base. Got to get
Uh-oh.
aired out today. Big Dog's going to tell you about his experience on Saturday at the Collie. That should be fun. I can't wait to hear it. Uh, are the Clippers already done before the series even officially gets started?
The
Maybe.
Lakers lose.
Lakers lose.
Mm.
But let's get into why I sent this mass text out and what I'm really feeling on this Monday afternoon or this Monday evening. Do me a favor, Knick fans. Embrace the moment. This team's in the playoffs for the first time in 8 years. Embrace the fact that you have playoff basketball to talk about, and you started in your home arena, which at the beginning of the season was no foregone conclusion. Let me remind everybody: Vegas had the Knicks at 22 wins. 22 wins. Lakers looking rough. We'll get to that. But 22 wins. Vegas had the Knicks at 22 wins, and you supplanted that margin of victory by 19 wins. Okay? So just by that alone, you overachieved. You overachieved. You did more than anybody ever expected that you would. And you gave yourself an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to host a first round series at Madison Square Garden with as rabid a fan base as I've heard in a long time. Knicks fans are hungry. Knicks fans are excited. You should be all of those things and then some. But let me just point this out. When you start the calls today and I hear all these different Knick podcasts and, oh, I was disappointed in the loss. We should have won that game. We didn't play. Listen, I said it on this show. Big Dog, you can be my witness if you like, but I've said it on this show. For the 4 people watching, if you've watched this show with us, you know that I've said this on the show before. The Knicks, they played out of their minds for the majority of the season. So, and the one key about the Knicks, or the one complaint about the Knicks, is that they don't have anybody that can close. Julius Randle is not a closer. As much as I like him as a player, he doesn't close games. So why all of a sudden, in the playoffs, when the pressure's at its highest, do we expect somebody that's never closed in his NBA career to close all of a sudden? Can somebody please explain this to me? What am I saying that is off-putting, that is bad? And listen, you could put the loss on Julius Randle. You absolutely could. Going 6 for 23 from the field, not playing well, only scoring 15 points. You could put him on it. You can put it on him if you want to. But here's the thing. Kayla, my point. You know what? I'm gonna just leave this comment up because she encapsulates everything that I feel right now. And let me point this out. He had a rough game, and it took a floater from Trae Young to beat you in the Garden when your star player had 15 points and RJ Barrett had 12. They shot 12 for 37 from the field, Big Dog, and you lost at the buzzer. You can't get no better than that. Yes, would you wanted to win? Sure, you would have wanted to win. But and then everybody's saying, well, oh, you can't let Trae Young beat you. You can't. First of all, look, the Knicks' game plan is we're gonna let Trae Young beat us. And we're gonna let him beat us with contested shots. We're going to let him beat us with a floater. We're going to let him beat us with all these things. What's up, Heidi? How are you? The new bride, by the way, she just got married. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So like I don't understand you, Knicks fans. Oh, Tibbs didn't make adjustments. He should have made adjustments.
How
Stop.
can you criticize him?
Stop.
Oh
Without him, without him, they don't get here. Can you stop? And take a sec. Big dog, say that again for me. Say it again. Say what you
I
just
don't
said.
even watch the Knicks or basketball, but just talking to this guy, I know that Tibbs is he's a great coach. And I would say that too, that he got the Knicks to the playoffs. Like Stephen said, they were, 20 or 22 wins? They were
Yes.
projected. They won 40. That's 20 or 22 more than they were supposed to get.
Yes. Yes. So thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. What's up, man?
What's up?
That what he just said right there is like perfect. Knicks fans
should be enjoying this right now. You haven't been there in 8 years. Was it heartbreaking? Of course, but you only lost by 2 points.
And your star player played like garbage.
And they still lost on a buzzer beater.
And here's the thing. And I'm sorry to say it, but why all of a sudden we want to start acting like, oh, this is the end of the world. We should have won game one. Bro, if you know anything about what this series was going to be, you already knew we go in 7 games.
The Hawks are good.
The Hawks are very good. The Hawks, and I told you yesterday because me and you hung out. Little inside. Atlanta scares me. Okay? They got shooters all over the place. Kevin Huerter, Tony Snell. They got players now. So let's not thank you know what, Heidi? Yep. Thank you. And here's the other thing. The other thing is, and I think this is the biggest issue, is at what point do you I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't really care. Just as long as I can say, you know what, my team is steadily progressing to build something. Do I think they beat the Sixers in the 7-game series? No, I don't. But what I don't like is the constant bickering. Oh, he left. We didn't adjust right away. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. Like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, what does it even mean when this guy's done nothing but be a great coach for you? Julius Randle held it down the whole year. He has one bad game, and now, look, you can say what you want, and that's fine. But I don't care, to be honest with you, because it's not about you. You're supposed to win the Eastern Conference with the team you got. So,
very true.
You know what, Mike, you're right.
That's a great statement.
You're right, Mike.
New York sports fans are ungrateful a lot of the time.
And I'm going to say this. How you treat Julius Randle in this round is going to determine, in my mind, whether free agents end up coming here. Because, no, I know you're joking, but it's true. Like, you have to look at it and go, yo, listen. If we treat this guy like crap, and all he did for the whole year was hold us down, he shows love for the city every chance he gets. He holds on the city. He says, I want to retire, Nick. I want to be here. I want to help build this thing back up. And all you do is eviscerate this dude after one game. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Oh, RJ Barrett should have done more. RJ Barrett played soft. Are you kidding me? A 20-year-old in his first playoff game. Are you kidding me? Like, it's disgusting. Kayla, thank you. And this is exactly what this feels like, because all he does is hold it down and doesn't say nothing disparaging about the fan base. Doesn't do any of that. Like, and that's why it took me for a loop when I said, "Yo, are we serious right now? Chill." And if you get beat by Atlanta, you get beat by Atlanta because you weren't supposed to be here to begin with. Stop. Nothing's going to be given to you. Nothing's going to be handed to you. You have to go out there and earn it. The fan base too. You want people to respect the Knicks. You want people to respect your franchise. You can't be acting crazy. You can't. Oh, but we gotta win this series. It's about pride. It ain't about pride, bro. With this team, you're lucky you won 40 plus games. Big Dog, you know I'm realistic, right?
Yes.
You know that, right? What was I
you're not saying Knicks winning the whole thing or going.
Hell no. But what was I saying to you beginning of the year? I said to you, yo, I'll be happy if we win 30 games, finishing the playing tournament, probably win a game. I'm good.
And you got home court advantage, and you're the fourth best team in the East.
And you crying. RJ Barrett didn't get no calls. This what they get. Stop. You sound stupid right now. Like, and then you hear all these analysts on TV. Exactly. But here's the thing, and Knicks fans get upset with me when I say this. Trae Young is a closer. Trae Young closes games. We've seen Trae Young close games late. And if I had to make this point, like Big Dog just pointed out, you don't think Tibbs has already probably locked himself in the lab with the film? He probably like, yo, fellas, we got to clean this up. We got to clean that up. I wouldn't be surprised if he went from his media availability yesterday right back to the office. Would you be shocked by that, Big Dog? Knowing the stories I've told you about Tibbs and how crazy and dedicated he is, would it shock you to think that this guy went back to his office yesterday to look at film, to look at tape, to study, to do all these different things?
I'm sure he did.
Tibbs is this type of dude he is. So if you don't think they're going to make adjustments going into game 2, you crazy. The first thing, good Lord, Alfred Payton, you're probably a beautiful human being. I don't doubt that. But if I see your body on an NBA court again, I might not know what to do with myself. I swear it's that bad. Big Dog, you could put me out there with 4 wheels, no motor, and I'd probably guard better than him right now. I mean, good Lord. This guy couldn't stop a nosebleed. If his nose was bleeding, if his own nose was bleeding right now, I don't think he could stop it. See, I disagree with you. Atlanta doesn't have more people that can create. They have more people that can make shots. They don't have enough people to create shots. That's why, as crazy as it sounds, let Trae Young hit 36 footers. If he hits 36 footers from the logo and they beat you that way, then cool. But him getting these runners off and floaters off, and now you getting lobs to Capella, and you open up the shooters for everybody else, let him shoot 36 footers from deep. I don't care. Let him take as many threes as you want. And I believe, and the reason I believe that, Emilio, to further your comment, was they hadn't played against that type. They haven't played with that type of crowd all year. By the way, Kayla, I agree with your point. They got more shot makers. You're absolutely right. And you know what? You're right. And the crazy part is, look, you got to make it ugly. You know that as an Islander fan. You don't have, look, you guys have skilled players. I'm not trying to be disparaging by making this comment and saying things like this, but you already know the series is gonna come down to, if the Knicks can dirty this up, it's a different game. You got to make it a different, especially when all Trae Young wants to do is get to the rim. He wants to get to the rim. And the thing with the Knicks is, this is why I'm sorry, but I'm going to say something crazy. Frank Ntilikina needs to start. And I don't care what Frank Ntilikina gives me offensively, because I know I'm not getting much. Like, I get it, Big Dog. It's like you and me and you talk. You're like, I need that fourth line starting games. The fourth line's not there to score goals. The fourth line's there to make sure they hit you, that they intimidate.
Tone setters. I mean, they can score every now and then, but they're tone setters.
Right.
Especially at home, they set the tone.
Exactly. And I think the Knicks kind of have to do that with Frank. You got to start Frank Ntilikina, because you can tell me, oh, he doesn't shoot the ball well and he doesn't. No, that's fine. He doesn't shoot the ball well, but at least a healthy and ready to go Frank Ntilikina that doesn't come in for the last couple of plays of a half. Like, putting Frank Ntilikina on Trae Young for the game felt like a bad move from Tibbs from jump. Like, you can't put Frank Ntilikina in that spot. That's stupid. Oh, but Frank should have never let him go left. If it's that easy, then why don't you get off your seat and you go guard the man? You go guard him. If it's that easy. Oh, no, but you shouldn't have let him go left. Excuse me? You sound foolish right now. Big O, am I lying?
No.
Am I lying? Give Julius the ball off his screen. You know what? And here's the other thing, too. I don't want to see Julius Randle post up for the rest of the series, Big Dog. If I see him post up for the rest of the series, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream. If I see Julius Randle post up, he's laughing because he already knows I'm dead serious. He did, and here's the thing about Trae Young: like, you can't reach. You ever see how basketball players, when they play defense, they get set in the stance, but their first inclination is, I want to reach in for the ball. His crossover dribble is so, like, don't reach because you'll get. But what I want Frank to do is use his feet. Damn, I wish I could break this down for you guys, but it's almost like I don't want him guarding with his hands. I want him guarding with his feet. Because if he's able to move this way, and his hands stay this way, because you know what Trae Young wants to do. He wants to get up under you, cause a foul, because you already got your hand there. So he's like, let me try to get up under dude and try to get him to reach and come towards me. So that is the thing that I'm like, exactly. Because look, and Mike, you make a great point here, Mike. You got to try. You're right. And here's the thing. That's why in game 2, I want to see the Knicks trap Trae Young. You got to trap him, bro. For me, that's almost like, nah, we didn't even let you get maybe 4 dribbles off, and then I got the big man coming like this. Even if it means Capella's going to get dunks all day at the rim,
right?
I give him that. I can't let Trae Young beat me, because Trae Young beating me means, damn, their best players just got off. Like, you know how it is with the Crosby, because you guys are playing Pittsburgh right now. Wouldn't you rather him be double teamed and let somebody else on their team beat you rather than let him beat you?
We've been shutting him and Malkin down.
Right.
Got to play physical against him. Got to shut him down.
And I know this ain't the 90s, but I would just love for somebody to just, yo, fam, I'm going to just hip check you real quick.
Yeah, they're rolling around like LeBron was doing and crying.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He was rolling around like, oh my God.
Like he got shot.
Okay, your ankles, bro.
It's true, but that's why That's why, to me, I don't like D Rose starting against Trey Young because D Rose cannot. He doesn't have the lateral quickness anymore to stay with a Trey Young. It's like I kind of want. I know Frank ain't gonna give me nothing offensively, but I need the length and the body to just be like, man, your whole job for however long you're in this game, you have to stay in front of him.
Right.
Even if it means that you get in foul trouble, even if it means you use up all 6 fouls, you got to stay in front of dude. Here's the other thing, too. Alfred Payton is useless. I'm going to say it. He's useless. You know why he's useless? Because he's not going to make Trey Young guard him on the other end. You got to put Trey Young in position. This is why Kayla made a good point she made a good point a little while ago. You got to put Trey Young in a pick and roll where if you put Trey Young in a pick and roll, you got to make sure either somebody like where he has to guard the roll man, like Julius, put him in a compromised position because they're eventually going to hide him. They don't want to have him guard one-on-one. One of the young boys, you're right. That's what I'm saying. That's why Frank is the key for me in this series because I'm like, I'm not saying Frank Ntilikina is going to shut him down. So please don't misunderstand my position. My position is simple. Don't get caught up in all the noise, bro. Like, be happy you here. Like, these refs are really bad, though. Just watching these games. That's another thing, too. Big Dog, I need you on this here for a second. Watching a hockey game with this guy yesterday, when there was a clear-cut penalty, when he got hit in the boards, remember, in overtime, and you were like, no penalty, no boarding. All right.
Yeah.
Refereeing, help me here, Big Dog, in all of sports has been
bad. I agree.
Like, what the hell? Like, these games are too important for you to just be like, And honestly, here's the other thing, too. Just watching the Sixer game yesterday, like, just the amount of non-foul calls that are being called now, and then in the regular season, and then when you do call a foul, it's a ticky-tack foul. It's like, oh, well, he got, like, his arm went up. No, bro, call a foul. Let somebody get really hit. Like you mentioned the LeBron thing. Chris Paul's battling for position. What do you want Chris Paul to do? Just let him get the ball? Good Lord, man. These leagues got soft. You agree with that or what? Sports in general has gotten soft.
Yeah, I mean, and then the high sticking penalty yesterday. Remember that one? And me and you were looking at each other like,
like, how do you not call that?
And he was bleeding.
I saw that.
In the Islander game Saturday, Crosby tripped one of our guys. No call. Mayfield made a defensive play. Oh, interference. You gotta be kidding. They give the superstars all the calls. It's
right.
It's aggravating.
All right.
Brady gets slapped in the head. Oh my God. And they call it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
that was his own fault. He jumped in the air for the ball and fell on his back.
Yes.
And was doing the stop, drop, and roll on the ground.
Stop, drop, and roll. No, and then the way he's clutching his shoulder, my shoulder.
Yeah, and then he was doing like the Peter Griffin, like the, you know what he used to do that in Family Guy? And, like, really like milking the injury, even if it's nothing like, oh my God.
And here's the thing. That's why play like LeBron. People lose respect for them because it's like, bruh, as big as you are, why you going around crying for foul calls? Chris Paul didn't yank your arm out of the socket. Now, if you seen the Chris Paul play, Chris Paul's shoulder almost got yanked out of its socket, and he's like sitting there like clutching his arm. I thought he was done. He came back and played. He's playing game two. Chris Paul is a warrior. Say what you want about basketball players being so. That dude, man.
Him and Crosby, absolutely.
They should start the clown club together with the two noses.
And Brady, the three of them, they should.
God almighty, good Lord. And then here's the other thing too. When you make these foul calls, or when you don't call these penalties, or when you call these penalties at big spots in these games, like the hockey game we were talking about, that's in overtime. The LeBron play, if they rule that a flagrant foul, big dog, that's two shots in the ball. That's two shots in the ball. See, Mike, here you go again. Mike, do me a favor, Mike. Whenever you want to come on the show, whenever you want to watch the show, you are more than what he's nailing this. How long have I been saying this about CP3? CP3 is the best leader in the NBA. In the NBA, period. He's the best leader in the league. Oh, Bill Laimbeer there would have been a police report for Bill Laimbeer as hard as he would have fouled LeBron. It affects an entire. Kayla's 100% right. How many times you see it in hockey where somebody gets cross-checked and it's not even a penalty, they call it, and your whole series is thrown off because it takes the aggressiveness away.
Yep.
And here's the thing. LeBron and AD don't look like LeBron and AD. You got to remember, they missed like the last couple months with injuries, and LeBron was dealing with the ankle, and AD had what we thought was an Achilles. So they're not fully 100% right. And by the way, Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, food. As Shaq says, that was a whole bunch of barbecue chicken. It was stripped barbecue chicken. It was barbecue chicken off the bone. They had all different types of barbecue chicken. It was like, I was like, damn. Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. If you're the Lakers, you don't have the depth you had last year. Like, there's no Dwight Howard. There's no Rondo. Where do you get the leadership from off the bench when LeBron and AD both go out? That's why I believe one of them has to be on the floor at all times. At all times. Because then the whole thing changes. And I'm gonna tell you, I think the Lakers lose this series. I think they lose. I think the Lakers and Clippers both lose their series. And if the Clippers lose that series, first of all, Kawhi Leonard's out. He's gone. He ain't coming back. And if you're Paul George, you got to look yourself in the mirror and go, well, damn, is it me? Dudley. Dudley. Barbecue cheese and mac and all right, man, you're making me hungry. You just said barbecue cheese.
Oh, Emilio, come on now.
What are you doing to me, bro? You know how I feel about the Brooklyn Nets on this show. So, yeah. Mike, you're doing it for me, Mikey. There you go. He's speaking truth. He's speaking truth. Now on to your heart attack.
Who are they playing?
Portland. Let's go Blazers.
Your Western Conference team.
Let's go Blazers, baby. And I'm gonna tell you something too. So Donovan Mitchell, Jazz All-Star. I was gonna send you this the headline. I forgot. Donovan Mitchell was ready to go. He's pissed at the Jazz. They literally had like a
Really?
cursing match before the game because the Jazz wouldn't let them play. The Jazz ended up losing game one. They blew a 20-point lead. Memphis leads them 1-0, and Memphis is the 8th seed. Boy, oh boy. Imagine all the top seeds get upset in the West in the first round.
I don't know.
Like
That's going to be tough, I think.
that's almost like hockey right there.
That would be.
Oh, Grizzlies. Don't do that. Don't do that. Damn. Speaking of hockey, man, let's talk about some of these series. Let's talk about Saturday because I want to get your thoughts on Saturday and some of the stuff you saw and what you got going on for the night. And what do you think about the series that wrapped up over the weekend?
Wow. Yeah, the series that wrapped up. I mean, look, Boston was just better than Washington this series.
Oh, no doubt.
Washington was banged up. I mean, the first 3 games they went to overtime, but yeah, I don't know about that, but
more
I mean,
like
this
Nets
guy
in
would
three
love
and a
it.
half.
But yeah, that the number 1 line is rolling for them. Bergeron had 2 goals last night.
Yeah.
Although they don't look totally dominant, but they look really good as they're showing the highlights from Saturday on the pregame.
Oh, here we go now.
I'm gonna get to that in a sec. But
Somebody get this guy some Kleenex.
yeah, and the Washington Capitals now have an interesting situation with cap problems. Ovechkin, his contract is up now. I mean,
Cornbread too.
thanks a million. Oh, I could go with some barbecue.
Right?
But yeah.
Damn it, Emilio. Why'd you do that for, bro?
Now I'm thinking about food.
Listen, keep the comments coming, guys. We're really enjoying this. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yes.
Keep them coming. Jesus.
Getting emotional just watching it again.
Oh.
Nah, but look, does Ovechkin go to another team? I don't think so. I think Washington's gonna find a way to sign him back, unless Ovechkin feels, you know what, this team we won.
That's what I'm saying. That
yeah, we got Laviolette. He's been to Cup finals. He did win one way back with Carolina, but this roster's kind of old. Manja. Do I go to a younger team? Do I go to, you mentioned like a Vegas that I can maybe see? But we'll have to wait and see. But the Washington Capitals are a team to definitely look out for in the offseason. Their goaltending too was an issue. I mean, 2 young guys came in, no Lundqvist due to his heart condition, so they didn't have him as an option.
Right.
And I can't imagine, how do you think Chara feels getting schmacked by his old team that he left? And now, well, he was kind of forced out in a way because Boston felt they had so many young guys in the pipeline and kind of take his spot. And then now they beat the old guy. But yeah, beat him in 5 games. So Washington, again, for the 3rd straight postseason, are out in the first round.
See, at some point, don't you have to look at the roster and go, yeah, there's something about this roster that just doesn't seem like they can make deep runs. Like if it's your 3rd straight playoffs of getting eliminated,
and they're so, in my opinion, they're a good team, but they're very overhyped. Again, I get it. Ovechkin, you got Backstrom, TJ Oshie's still good.
Right.
Tom Wilson is terrible of a player as he is and dirty. I mean, he does score, and he contributes to his team.
Yeah.
They got Evgeny Kuznetsov as well, but again, they've been together so long, but they are older. Look at Ovi; his hair is gold gray now. I mean,
Hey,
Maybe he might
man.
be looking for a change of scenery. It could happen.
I mean, at this point, listen, if Brady could leave New England,
Right, very true.
if Favre left Green Bay, if these players all left their situations, always no different. Especially if Ovechkin wants to keep winning, because it doesn't seem like the Capitals are in position where they're going to be able to keep winning.
And you know he wants to win and compete with Crosby in terms of amount of Stanley Cups. So
Right, and I think that's the key, especially because you just mentioned that they are older, they've been together a while, and they're in salary cap like purgatory.
hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's like we got to figure out first of all, he's gonna do what's best for him as a player and his family. So that's the first thing. But I give up behind 7 seconds, but I'm happy for you, Nick. But that this may be your.
Thank you. I hope.
All
God
right, don't
willing.
get him crying on the air now, Jesus. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Nah, taking it game by game. But I mean, I think we could go all the way. But trying to take it day by day. And the Avalanche look sweeping up the St. Louis Blues. I mean, David Perron came down with COVID. They haven't really been great. Bennington has been not really good at all since he
He
won
hasn't been
that
good
amazing
for the
cup
last
run.
couple of years, right?
Yeah, like right after they won the cup, he hasn't been the same goalie. And Colorado's just they're a machine
They're
the way
loaded.
they score.
They're low. Yeah.
But now Nazem Kadri is out for 8 games.
Good.
So
You know what?
for that dirty high elbow hit.
How is it that they let Kadri and Tom Wilson constantly get away with the same
And Kadri
type?
has done things before. I should mention that too. He's a
But
repeat
that's
offender
why
with dirty hits.
he's an habitual offender, and you
Back
keep
to his
letting
even
him.
days in Toronto years ago. He's been
Yeah,
suspended before.
and you let him get away with it, and it's like, at what point do you look at it and go, "Well, damn, how much can I? How much are we going to get away with?" The guy's a
Right.
dirty player. Bottom line, he's dirty. Like, and then the league, oh, he suspended 8 games. Suspend him indefinitely. What is the 8 games going to do now? Does his team win probably the next round? I don't know. But 8 games, that feels kind of soft to me.
Yeah, should do more. Same thing with Wilson, but
Right. Especially if these guys have a track record of being, going over the line, being extra physical, and you know what I'm saying? They should be, not that you want to like target guys, but if you know somebody has a track record, you should at least want to say something and go, that's not right.
yeah.
That's not
2
right.
more series can end tonight. Tampa Bay up 3-1 on Florida.
I know you're hoping for a miracle comeback, but what is the likelihood of that happening?
I don't know. It's going to be tough for Florida. I think they could possibly, but I don't. And they're in Sunrise tonight, so they are playing at home. But Tampa Bay they're good. And yeah, Edmonton giving up a 4-1 lead last night. Winnipeg ties it late in the third, and then they score in overtime. I don't know. Edmonton
Something about Edmonton seems overrated. Like we overhyped them.
beyond
McDavid.
overrated just because of Draisaitl and McDavid, but they are horrendous. And Winnipeg's not that much better, but now they are starting to get healthy again.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be interesting to watch down the stretch.
Right.
But
I mean, for them. All right. So let me ask you this: if, and I know this is a bunch of what ifs, but do you think McDavid ever goes to the front office and goes, I want out. This ain't working out. I know he just signed a big deal a couple years ago.
A deal. That's going to be kind of hard to get out of, but he could try. Because he is a super talent. He deserves to win. But because you ain't doing that in Edmonton by your damn self. So you're going to have to get out of there. And
right.
we have to live in Edmonton anyway. Not that there's anything against it, but Not that I have anything against it, I should say, but
Yeah, but it's friggin' freezing. No, the scenery is nice, but it's cold up there.
yeah, deep winter minus like 100 degree. Nah, I'm good. I'm all right. But Saturday,
Yeah, on to the main event. What I really came here to see.
oh my God. First of all,
Oh,
it felt amazing to be at a sporting event again. Um, the Coliseum, it only held, I believe, like 6,800 fans, but it felt like the full 13,500 were there.
wow.
Um, it was absolutely surreal. Um, oh my God, it was crazy. Like, I pulled in the parking lot and then walking into the building, like
Right.
before you, as you're walking in, the "Let's Go On" the chants, the hairs on my neck and my arms and my legs were standing up, like just oh my God,
Wow.
like you felt
An
the energy.
experience. Yeah.
Then you get in the seats, and then the anticipation. Then they play the hype up video. Like 5 minutes before the team comes out, and the whole "Let's Go Islanders," the whole place.
Oh,
It was unbelievable, and the fact that they won 4-1 was great. And
damn. So
Ilya Sorokin played friggin' lights out, man.
you didn't even sweat. That's a good day. They win for 1-4. You don't sweat. It's easy not easy peasy, but
Yeah, you were able to enjoy it, Matt, because you knew the kid was calm, cool, collected in the net. He was on it. He was on it.
unlike me,
Bailey scored after he was ridiculed many times, mostly by me. Yelling out, "Bailey, you got to be kidding me! You're a bum." Then he scored, so that worked out.
good.
Then Eberle finally got off the schneid. He scored the fourth goal. Pulak scored.
I wanted to point this out to you yesterday when we were together, but I'm glad I'm doing it here.
Sure.
Ryan Pulak's wrist shot. Dude, hear me out, Ryan
You mean
Pulak.
slap shot?
What? Yes. Nobody wants to get in the way of that thing. How about we use it more? I mean, defenders were running. They were like, nah, I'm not trying to take a shot off of that, off the knee, the ankle. Use it more. The fact that you don't use it enough, the fact that you have hair left is amazing.
And the way he scored it, there were no Islanders in front, but there were two Penguin defenders, and he shot it, and it banked off one of their skates and went in. I'm like, shoot it! Like, you see what happens when you shoot the goddamn puck?
And you never know what could happen. You just take one shot. It takes an awkward angle. The goalie doesn't see it. It goes in. There you go.
Yeah, it could take a weird ricochet.
All right. So I've noticed this because I've been watching some highlights during these hockey playoffs. Why is it that everybody's looking for the perfect shot? Can you guys help us? Can you help me with that big? Do you notice it watching games nightly,
I
or is it
think
just
it
me?
depends on the team, I feel like, that does it.
But during the Nashville game too, they had a couple shot and they're looking for the perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shoot it in there.
Even when they have wide open shots and they just pass it off, or I don't know. I wish I could explain it.
I mean, I wish you could too, because I'd love to know why they do what they do.
I don't know.
And then the thing is, and you look at it and you go, Stern, thank you for the like, appreciate it. You look
Thank you,
at it.
Stern. Let's go on this tonight.
Thank you for the like, Capri. Thank you for the like, Heidi. We appreciate it. It's almost like you have to shoot the puck. The whole objective. First of all, these goalies are too good to just sit there and hold the puck and not make a play. Make a play. Make a play. And I just wish that these players were a little bit more aggressive. Be a little bit more aggressive. I'm not saying shoot it every time you get the puck on your stick, but at least give me something where I'm like, you know what? We might be in a situation in which, you know, it goes off the post, it goes off the, you may have a shot. Like, I know that drives you batty watching the island. I've literally seen this guy lose his mind.
The other
At the
day, but Saturday, Barzell, and you know how he skates and creates room for himself and
oh,
had plenty of space, nobody around him. He didn't shoot it. Said skates it more around the net than around. Shoot it. Just shoot it.
right.
But a lot of teams do that. I'm not sure why. It's like maddening to watch because it's like just shoot it off of somebody for the love of God.
Right. Right. What do you expect going into tonight?
I expect us to win, but it's not going to be easy because Pittsburgh's at home. They're going to come out fighting, especially because they know they got to come back to Long Island for Game 6. Thank you, Stern. I heard you screaming, sitting behind me. Shoot it! I mean, we all were yelling, but yeah, we got to win tonight, Stern. Got to win. Going back to the Coliseum, Game 6, just to close it out. So tonight's big.
And the reason why I want them to shoot it more is because you set the tempo that way. They know if you get the puck and you get in the spot and you shoot it and it goes in, your team's up 1-0. You set the tempo. It's gonna be a different night. Like I understand we all want the shots, it's all pretty and we want to make Sports Center, but how many times have you seen a shot and you just yelled squeaker and you're just like, see what happens when you shoot?
Yeah. The
See what happens?
or even the goalie makes a mistake and just does like that.
Yes.
It sneaks through the arm or it sneaks through the 5-hole or in between the blocker and just shoot it. But we got to score first tonight too. That was a big thing on Saturday that we did, especially being at home. But even on the road, it's just as important to score first. Quiet the crowd down. Not that they're rabid or anything, but still, you want them to be quiet and, set the tone early.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. He said it.
Well, I
me.
said it. So, but yeah, big game tonight. Start the fourth line, I expect. Let's just see. Yep, Sorokin, no surprises, starting again tonight. So yeah, Barry, he's definitely starting him the rest of the series. Then depending on how far we go, again, we'll take it series by series, but Sorokin, man, the kid's unreal. He's really good. And this is his rookie year.
That's the thing. Like I look at him, like I'll bring it back to the Knicks for just 1 second. Like Emmanuel Quickly was big yesterday. Not afraid to take a big shot, not afraid to be in the moment, not afraid to do all those things. You gotta let when the rookies are that composed and they feel that good about themselves, you gotta let them run with it. I know Varlamov's been the guy for you guys, but if this guy's gonna come in and show he got ice water in his veins like this, don't you think you gotta run with him a little more? Like I would think you gotta run with the kid just because he shows that he got ice water in his veins and he's not afraid of the moment. And I'm like, I'd want to see that guy play more. I'd want to see that guy do more. I'd want to see like the atmosphere. I want to see what he does in a big game. And as we lost Big Dog real quick, but it frustrates me when you see coaches get so regimented in their rotations and the things that they do, and you're just like, change it up a little bit. Change it up a little bit. Allow me to give me some latitude to work, and I'm sure the rookie is gonna show up and show out. And as Big Dog
My internet.
yeah, as Big Dog rejoins us, don't you feel like you got to ride Sorokin? He's kind of been the hot hand.
Oh, you have to, yeah.
And I'm like, ride the kid, let him see what he can do. And I don't, and I was just telling him real quick as as you tried to get back on, like it. I hate when coaches become so regimented. Oh, we're gonna do this. I want to go back to the rotation because that's been the rotation all year. And the players, you have to be willing to adjust. And I think
And be flexible. And Barry's good like that. He'll make changes if he has to, no matter what position. So absolutely, you got to be flexible.
right, and I think that's the ultimate key, especially in the playoffs, because if they see you being flexible, then they might make a change. Like, oh, why are they making that change? Maybe we got to counter their change, and then it becomes a whole game of chicken, and then you never know what may happen.
Baba boop. Absolutely.
Yeah, so um, expecting big things from his Isles tonight. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Uh,
5 games on tonight, too.
wow.
Yeah, Isles Penguins. You got Maple Leafs Canadians game 3 back to Montreal.
Austin
Um,
Matthews with the hat trick the other night.
yeah, Austin Matthews he went on a tear the
Don't
other
you
night.
kind of wish that there were fans in the building for that series?
But that series, right? Because it's the first time in 42 years they played in the postseason. Um, just one of the biggest rivalries in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
There were fans for that, and that was in Toronto that game. So they would have lost their minds. Sure, Drake would have been there. Being a fake fan that he is, but for all
Oh,
the fans.
wow.
No, even you admit it. He ain't a real Raptor fan
I know.
or a Blue Jay fan. He was at the Laker game last week.
I mean, that's because LeBron's his boy. That's the difference between a coach like Doc and Brett Brown or Tibbs for the Knicks. Yeah, you got to make adjustments. Adjustments are critical, especially when
For
coaching
sure.
matters.
And Barry's been in this league a long time. He's won. He's been in
Mm-hmm.
the playoffs numerous of times, so he knows what
Mm-hmm.
it's like.
Coaching is more critical now than I think at any point
And he is a
because
nice guy, but he ain't afraid to, if he's got to switch up or
right.
he'll do it.
Like you can't think about people's emotions or feelings at this point. Like you have to kind of go, you have to dictate what the game is gonna tell you. So if the game tells you, man, Sorokin got to play, and we love Varlamov, we love the veteran leadership he brings, we get all of that. But first of all, you don't know if Varlamov's all the way back from the knee. He may be healthy enough to play, but he may not be 100%. It may come out
Right.
after the playoffs. He tried to play through a torn ACL, torn meniscus, torn whatever. Because hockey players are some of the toughest people on this planet.
They are.
They'll, but coaching matters. Kayla's 100% right, and it's not even so much the X's and O's part of it. It's seeing how the other team is trying to attack you, and just reading it and going, you know what? I'm gonna just try this because I believe in this player, or I'm gonna switch up the line because I believe these three players against that defensive scheme that works for us. So it's all about trying to find an advantage everywhere you can. And the thing is, Barry's probably coached in every scenario possible, so he's seen
Yes.
virtually everything. So he's not gonna wilt or fold and go, no, no. I think you're gonna see a guy that is gonna play his game, can play his style, gonna do what he does no matter what the situation presents.
No doubt about it. Also,
So go through
too,
those other games real quick.
your Minnesota Wild are facing elimination tonight, going back
Yeah,
to Vegas.
so much for that pick. Jeez.
And apparently there's more of a capacity in Vegas tonight, so good luck, Wild, because
Yes. That's another
it's
great
looking
point.
like it's going to be a Colorado-Vegas series next round, which kind of spicy.
Kind of spicy.
I think all hockey fans are looking forward to that one if it does end up
Kind of,
being that.
kind of spicy. That's like 4 different like spicy seasonings. That's like paprika. With like 4 different That's beyond spicy. Oh my lord. I as a hockey fan, you got to be looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited.
You got to be
There's
because
nothing against Minnesota, but they're getting bounced tonight. I think they're done. Vegas is just too good.
not against your team, but you're going home. Wrap wrap it up. Send them all home. Throw away the key.
That's it. Adios. Sayonara. Arrivederci.
He got some sake he wants to get into, and I have a parting shot before we go. But Big Dog, what do you got on
Very
me?
briefly, yeah, because it's almost puck drop. So to wrap up, so Inter win the Italian Serie A. Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga by 1 point in the French league. Lille, the club's called, beat top PSG in first place by 1 point.
Yeah, take that in your Super League pipe and
Well, they weren't joining it, but I know take that, definitely. Because
right.
PSG's one of those teams, like they have like a big three and it's superstar after superstar, and see, yeah, Super League, okay, watch this. Like they won, it's crazy. They won. Leicester won the FA Cup. They're shoving it to all these big clubs. Man City won. They lifted the Premier League trophy yesterday. And Sergio Aguero is leaving Man City for Barcelona, so he's joining up with his Argentinian teammate and Lionel Messi, which for Messi that could be interesting, and they have some chemistry since they play for the national team together. Again, Harry Kane, Spurs did win yesterday 4-2.
I have to say this. This Harry Kane situation feels like LeBron circa decision 2010.
It's insanely fascinating. The only thing, he doesn't have a free transfer. He's still under contract. So that's the kind of interesting part of all this is he can't just pick up and go to any club in Europe he wants or in England. It all depends on if Tottenham want to sell him. And he's been very, very, very outspoken about it. Very. Like, I want to be like the Messis and Ronaldos. Look, I see all these English clubs, and I want to be there with them. Like, I want to be in the Champions League and winning Premier League trophies and be in the biggest competition.
How does that make you feel as a Tottenham fan? Kayla, how does that make you feel as a Tottenham fan?
I mean, I understand it, but, it stinks because, you want him to stay. He's been our best player for the past few years. He won the Golden Boot again, which is when you score the most goals in the league season. Kind of like the Rocket Richard Trophy in hockey. But yeah, and he just has such great skill. And also he's a Tottenham guy through and through. He grew up near the stadium. He's been a fan his whole life. And then now he wants to leave. Like, I was thinking about that, like, what I want, as much as success as I would want, yeah, it is sad. I'm like, would I leave my boyhood team, like, just to get I don't know. Like, again, I'm not faulting him or anything, but I was just thinking about me. Steph, you said you would leave, but I'm like, come on, you would leave the Knicks or the Yankees?
If they're not winning, yeah.
Yankees would always be good, so that's kind of a bad example. But
I mean,
but the Knicks, like, you would leave the Knicks, you wouldn't stay?
no, not if the franchise was bad.
So you would go, you mean, if they were bad or no?
No, yeah, I'm out.
Damn. That was a
Because you
quick
gotta
hit.
understand, these dudes, no, because these dudes have like short shelf lives as sports players.
Definitely, and he's our age. He's 28, but he's also been banged up quite a number of times. So, um,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you get to a point where you get to start to a certain age, and you know, it ain't gonna get any easier because I'm getting older. My body's starting to break down, and you kind of see your hockey mortality in front of you. I mean, your soccer mortality, excuse me. You kind of have to make the decision now. Do I want to stay here and waste another couple years of my career, or do I want to try and win and capitalize now while I can? You know, that's the catch 22 he finds himself in. So that's a very fascinating development, Big Dog. I know you got a couple more things, and we're
um,
well, that's it.
that's it. The teams now are starting to come out with their rosters for the Euro Cup. This will be the first time I saw this today that the Spanish national team will not be using not one player from Real Madrid from their roster, including veteran and who's won a World Cup and 2 Euro Cups with Spain in Sergio Ramos. He will not be on the roster. So that's out of the
And that's all
entire.
because of the whole Super League thing, right?
No, they just their manager didn't pick any Real Madrid players. But also, this manager used to manage Barcelona, who is their arch rival. So,
Ah,
yeah, there might be a little.
a little,
And it's
but it sounds
interesting because those Spanish teams that always had success were pretty much Barcelona and Real Madrid players. But now it's like a
right.
mixture of
Yeah,
Barcelona and other players spread throughout Europe. So
right.
Germany
Sounds
came
like
out
a
with
pet.
their roster. England releases theirs tomorrow, which I'm really interested in. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I could.
I'll answer that for him. No,
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
no, no. Because Big Dog believes in Big Dog is you're a loyal guy, which is beautiful. But I'm like, like I kind of want to win, so I'm out.
I don't know.
Um,
The only way, maybe, if they had a coach like Gase again, then I might have to. But yeah, I can't, that would be hard for me to just. Yeah. But what do you got before we wrap up?
let me. Oh,
You
Kayla
got
says
a
she
parting
couldn't.
shot. Yeah, I couldn't either, Kay. I couldn't
Nah,
do it.
I am. I'm out.
Like, to have that opportunity to play for the team you grew up rooting for, I couldn't leave.
I mean,
But
everybody's different. I think it
yeah,
depends on I think it depends on circumstances too, which we're not all privy to. But my parting shot, folks, is this. I know we all sitting there and we're talking about sports and we talk about the schematics and we talk about the X's and O's, but just the privilege to have fans back in these buildings where you feel like you're back to being normal again. Saturday and Sunday, this weekend feels like we're not all the way back yet, but for the first time in a year, life feels normal.
yes,
Life feels normal and it feels good. And just to know that there were 15,000 people at the Garden, there's going to be more people in the next round in the Coliseum if the Islanders advance. Um, so just to know that we're getting back to having those moments where the crowd's just losing itself in the sport and in the game, that feels beautiful, and
yeah,
that's something that we shouldn't take for granted, because I know I did before this, and now that we know that we almost didn't have it, I'm probably gonna embrace it.
yeah. Two baseball teams in New York, they increased
Yeah,
capacity. MetLife Stadium announced today They'll have full capacity in September.
Yankees and Mets expecting full crowds for the Yankees Mets Subway Series at Yankee Stadium starting in July.
Wow.
So
It's kind of close.
yeah,
We'll have to see about that.
I mean,
There were fans in the Premier League stadiums this past weekend. So, like you said, we're getting there.
we're getting there. Yeah. So just enjoy it. If you're lucky enough to go to a game, you're lucky enough to have tickets, or you're lucky enough to experience anything like that, take advantage of it because if this year showed us anything, life is unpredictable and you never know what could change and how things can evolve. So if you got the privilege to go to a game, go because you never know what may happen. And with that said, man, enjoy the hockey games tonight.
Thank you.
Full capacity. Wow, June 12th.
Oh, Citizens Bank. Oh, wow, June 12th.
Wow, right there, huh? Anyway, enjoy the games tonight, folks. Big Dog, don't die on me. I'll check on you if anything.
Yeah, text me later.
All right. And thank you guys for joining us on the show. We do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on Thursday with this guy's crazy reaction to what could be a Game 5 win. The Knicks might have tied the series by the time you talk to me next. Or I might be curled up in a ball, ready to, who knows? There's a lot to look forward to. Big Dog, this was fun, man. Enjoy the game.
It was. Let's go
All right.
Islanders.
All right, later.